So Fannie Mae conducted its investigation over the Letitia James case, regarding this case, and look at what they concluded. Look at what they found. Fannie Mae officials saw no evidence of mortgage fraud against Letitia James, filing shows. Senior fraud investigators at Fannie Mae believed there was no clear evidence to prove that New York Attorney General Letitia James committed mortgage fraud, according to new information disclosed by James' legal team in a filing on Monday. And the filing, which asks a federal judge to dismiss the criminal charges against James on the basis of outrageous government conduct, revealed some new details about how people inside Fannie Mae viewed the investigation into James and the role that Trump ally Bill Pulte, the nation's top housing regulator, played in shaping the probe. In June, communications between Fannie Mae's director of mortgage fraud, Sean Soward, and Jennifer Horn, the vice president of financial crimes at Fannie, Soward expressed concern that the case was certainly not clear and convincing evidence of fraud, according to the filing. Oh my God. Fannie Mae is literally reporting that they looked into this case and they found no evidence of mortgage fraud. So now not only, the actual institution lending the money is not suing, is not claiming anything. Now you have Fannie Mae. Also, Fannie Mae is also saying that they investigated, they looked into it, and they found no fraud. When Donald Trump was accused of committing bank fraud and insurance fraud because he was inflating his property values like badly, very badly, immediately people like, Elon Musk and Mr. Wonderful and Grant Cardone and a bunch of other billionaires, very, very rich people, these people were all over the media doing media tours and defending Donald Trump. And what was the defense? What was the argument? They would say, hey, we shouldn't be interfering with a bank. The bank is not complaining. The bank didn't sue Donald Trump. They didn't complain about anything. Donald Trump, he took out a loan. He was paying it. The bank was happy that they were able to sell a loan. So, the bank is making money. The insurance companies are making money. Donald Trump is making money too. Everybody's happy. This is a victimless violation. Like, you're doing this just because it's Donald Trump, because nobody is suffering. Nobody is becoming a victim here. That's what they said. That was the argument, essentially. But then when it comes to Letitia James, you see the double standard here. She took out a loan to buy a second property, and there's no victim here. Letitia James is making her money in terms of, she's paying. The bank is, was happy to sell the loan to Letitia James, and the loan is being paid for, so everybody's happy. This is a victimless civil situation that then we shouldn't pursue. But all of a sudden, they're going bonkers. While Donald Trump made millions of dollars that way, because then, he qualified for loans so he could use for money. You know how this works. You have a property that's valued way more than you paid for when you acquired it. Now you have a bunch of positive equity. That positive equity allows you to reinvest in the property, maybe to use the money to invest in some other stuff. You see? Now you have money, and then at the same time you have a loan, so you don't have cash in the bank. This is how these people operate. This is how they game the system. But anyway, that was millions of dollars. Donald Trump enriched himself and his family in the same fraud scheme by millions of dollars. Letitia James barely, roughly, it was a couple of tens of thousands of dollars. Over the life of the loan, what she would have saved, I believe it was around $20,000. I'm going to actually check the number. So check this out. Over the life of the whole loan, okay, over the life of the mortgage, Letitia James would have saved, because she was saving, I believe it was roughly around like $50 per month. That was the difference. If she had taken a commercial loan because she was going to have like a commercial property to rent, she was going to be paying apparently roughly some like $50 more per month. But she didn't do that. She took it as a second property, secondary property. And this is what they're saying. If she was really committing fraud, over the life of the loan, she would have been saving $50 per month. And that would have amounted to $18,000, not even $20,000, not even $19,000. But I want you to, just put these two cases in perspective. Donald Trump defrauded the state of New York by millions of dollars, that he enriched himself by falsifying documents and lying to the banks and lying to the insurance companies, and everybody and their mother on the Republican side was like, this is nothing. This is victimless. There's nothing to deal with here. Like, what are you doing? Why are you getting in between these people that everybody's happy making business here, making money in the capitalist greatest country in the world, right? But now with Letitia James, she made her money. She got her money. She bought her property. The bank, the mortgage company made its money too. Victimless. Same situation, but no, we have to pursue this. I can't believe that these people would go this far, over $18,933, when they claimed that for the same type of situation where there's a victimless civil violation, that when it came to Donald Trump should have been ignored, totally ignored, because nobody lost money. And here nobody's losing money. And this is literally this is less than 1%, literally less than 1% than what Donald Trump stole from the city of New York. And now they if they could, they would ask for, capital punishment. They would ask for the death penalty for Letitia James over $18,933. So this is why I say that you don't have a leg to stand on. You have zero integrity if you're going to condone and forgive Donald Trump over millions of dollars stolen, falsifying documents. We haven't found any falsification on Letitia James' part yet. There's no proof that she falsified, that she lied. Nothing yet. So these people yet still have to present any proof whatsoever. Just at face value, if anyone were to consider the facts of this case, you have Donald Trump literally, scolding and screaming and yelling at Pam Bondi on social media by mistake, because he meant to send her a private message and he messed up and he made it public. Look at this. Pam, I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially same old story as last time. All talk, no action. Nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam Schiff, Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. Then we almost put a Democrat-supported U.S. attorney in Virginia with a really bad Republican past. He's talking about Eric Siebert, who was the Republican that Donald Trump appointed to be the U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia. And then that guy decided not to pursue charges because he said the same thing. There's no evidence here. But Donald Trump got really mad, and now you can see he's going to call him a woke and a rhino. Look, a rhino who was never going to do his job. That's why the two of the worst Democrat senators push him so hard, approved him, or let's say supported him so hard. He even lied to the media saying he quit and that we had no case. No, I fired him and there's a great case and many layers, and legal pundits say so. Yeah, like legal pundits would know, right? Lindsay's a really good lawyer and she likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice. They indicted me 5 times. Over nothing. Justice must be served. Now, President Donald J. Trump. So look at that. Donald Trump appointed Eric Siebert, a career Republican, as the Eastern District of Virginia U.S. attorney. And then this guy, after 4 months, was confirmed by the district court, because after 120 days, now, if you name an interim, this guy was named as an interim. It's like, say, temporary, right? The Senate didn't confirm him. Within 120 days, he was not confirmed. So now the district court in the Eastern District of Virginia, the court has to decide if they want to extend the period, the time for Eric Siebert, which they did, or if they want to substitute him, but not Donald Trump. Donald Trump cannot name a second prosecutor, which is what he did. He got really mad at this guy because this guy was, straight as they come, and he was by the book, and he told him, bro, there's no evidence here. There's no way I'm going to do that. And now you can see Eric Siebert, the career Republican prosecutor, told him there was no evidence. And now you have Fannie Mae also reporting that they investigated the supposed mortgage fraud, and they also found nothing. So that tells you everything you need to know. Pam Bondi was scolded, screamed at, yelled at on social media. Within 4 days, 5 days, Letitia James is prosecuted. Within 3 days, James Comey was prosecuted. And they fired the guy that didn't want to indict him. And then they named Lindsay Halligan, which is Donald Trump's personal lawyer. She used to be a part of the documents, the classified documents case. She's an insurance lawyer. She knows nothing about criminal law. But she wanted to do Trump's bidding. and she became the Eastern District of Virginia U.S. prosecutor, U.S. attorney, right? And the judge found that appointment was 100% illegal. It was 100% legal because the administration had only 120 days after naming Eric Siebert to confirm Siebert. If they couldn't confirm him in the Senate, that meant that now jurisdiction passes to the court, and only the court, the district court, can determine who's gonna fill that position if there's if it becomes vacant. So they decided to extend Eric Siebert, and then Donald Trump asked him to resign. Told him, if you don't resign, I'm gonna fire you. The guy said he resigned. Donald Trump claims he fired him. I don't care. It's the same shit. The guy left. Donald Trump still, even knowing he couldn't do it, he still named Lindsey Halligan. In all reality, this is a completely sham witch hunt. You can definitely tell. You saw Donald Trump's message ordering, which is super partisan and super shady, the president ordering the attorney general to indict them because they indicted me. They indicted me 5 times because they impeached me twice. These people are guilty as hell. With what proof, Donald Trump? The only guy really investigating these people was Eric Siebert, your attorney, your Republican that you named, that Pam Bondi named. And he said there was nothing to prosecute these people. That's why I'm saying you guys have a problem. You have an integrity problem. You lack consistency, and that's a big deal. That's it, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe to the channel. My name is Daniel Aranzamendi. I also host a Spanish podcast called called Aranzamendi Podcast Español. If you speak Spanish, or if you have a Spanish-speaking friend, family member, coworker, send them to my channel. If you like my content, I talk about all these things in my Spanish channel here on YouTube, Aranzamendi Podcast Español. I also help Brian Tyler Cohen to run his Spanish channel. Brian Tyler Cohen Español, great channel. Obviously, if you guys know who Brian Tyler Cohen is, he has a great English channel here on YouTube with like 5 million followers or more. He always brings great guests like, Gavin Newsom and Bernie Sanders and AOC, Joe Biden at some point, Kamala Harris, Hakeem Jeffries, J.B. Pritzker, Hochul from New York, the best people that you can think of when it comes to the party, the real great leaders. He's doing a phenomenal job putting all this content also, translating to Spanish. We're using, great technology and advanced AI and dubbing tools so that we can bring this whole thing to you in Spanish, 3-4 episodes every single day, shorts too. So I'm definitely recommending you go and you support this channel. Please subscribe, like the content, share the content, because it's great content for our Hispanic community. So aside from that, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow with some follow-ups, some additional information, and I hope you stick around. I'm gonna be really working hard to try to come up with great content, quality content for you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye-bye.